Hey everyone, welcome back to the second episode of the Bros Knows podcast. And I'm Ben again.
I'm Jared.
And if you are new to our podcast, this is a podcast where we talk about things that we care about or that we think is funny or, you know, really whatever
random
we want to
stuff.
Yes, random stuff. So, Jared, is there anything that you so happen to want to talk about or that's hit your brain lately? Just because it's a new episode, something new.
Yeah.
What do you got for us?
Let's talk about spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yes.
What do you mean by spoilers?
Like movie spoilers or TV show spoilers.
So what you're saying is that for you, does it bother you or are you okay with spoilers?
Yes, it bothers me.
But why does it bother you?
Well, I don't know what wants to happen in the movie until I see it.
See, I've always been
if it's a movie that I want to see.
I do agree. Like there are some things that I can't stand. Like especially, the new Star Wars came out, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't see it on opening night. And you know, for some, that can be frustrating. But for me, I was like, you know, it's cool. Like I'm going to see it, you know, at some point. And for me, I was like, people were telling me a little bit about the movie, and I was like, I don't know why it frustrated me, because I normally don't get frustrated if people tell me a little bit about the movie. Like, I do agree, like, I don't want to hear the ending or how it turns out.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, I can't, like, I don't want to have to deal with, like, going to the movie and paying money and, like, oh, well, I never know how it ends, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, especially now, I do know the key to not hearing or seeing any spoilers for movies. The key is just don't get on social media.
But see that, I do agree. I think that social media has, and that's with a lot of things. I think social media has kind of ruined our, I don't know, ability to do a lot of different things. It's not even just spoilers. I think social media kind of doesn't help us, you know, figure out things. But no, I do agree. I think avoiding social media is one. I think another one is if you know you have a friend that talks a lot and they've seen the movie, like I'm just gonna be honest with everyone out there. If I watch a movie, there's a very good chance that I'll say something about the movie. That's just my personality. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like going to see movies with me, especially if I've seen it, because it's like Ben's going to tell us. And that's why I don't really have an opinion about this, because I know I'm that guy that shares the spoilers.
Yeah, I'm good at not sharing stuff about the movie because I don't like hearing about the movie before I see it.
Yeah, and I think it's always funny because like I've watched movies where like people, like I just found out, I don't even know how, like I found out that, well, the movies, this is what's going to happen in the movie, you know? And I'm usually like, I used to get frustrated, like I said, but now I'm just kind of like, you know what, I can kind of, I'll watch it. I mean, especially if it's a movie I'm not into, like Star Wars I'm into. So like if someone tells me about Star Wars, I just get ticked. I'm just like, really? Are you serious right now? But yeah, so I agree. Spoilers are one of those things that is a hot topic, especially when you have new movies that come out and you don't want that as well. But do you think at college, does it happen more? Like spoilers, does it happen? Do you hear more about the movies when you're at college? Not
really. We don't really see a whole lot of movies.
Are you because you're that poor, or?
Well, yeah, we're college kids.
I mean, that is true though. But I will say though, the reason I asked that is because in college I felt like anytime I ever want to go see a big movie like Avengers or a Star Wars,
well,
like
we did that.
Someone would always have seen it beforehand or would know like the comics, which drove me insane, by the way, because then they knew exactly what was going to happen. But okay, yeah, I would say that. Like, I think spoilers, like, definitely something. But I will say, okay, spoiler alert for out there for anybody that might be watching Star Wars at some point here.
Okay, if they haven't seen Star Wars yet, don't get mad.
Don't get mad.
Because if you haven't seen it yet, you're not a true Star Wars fan.
But if you
It's been 2 weeks.
But just so you know, this probably will be some spoilers. But so going off of, I guess, talking about movies, what was your opinion of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker?
I liked it.
Explain yourself.
I think it was good. It leveled out the badness of Last Jedi.
Did you say that? Is badness a word?
I don't know. Well, it is now.
Is badness a word?
It is now. And it leveled out the badness of Last Jedi. So,
oh my.
I would say, I don't know if it was better than Force Awakens, because Force Awakens is, I think it was, it's in the top 6 movies, I think. But this last one, it was good. It definitely ended the saga in a good way.
See, I think for me, it's kind of interesting because I love the I've just always loved Star Wars. Like I grew up, watching Star Wars. I remember at our cousin Brad's house, they had the VHS. Yes, I know for many of you that are younger than us probably don't even know what VHS is, but we're really not that old. But VHS, I remember watching.
I know what VHS is.
Yes, I know you do. All 3 episodes, I remember it. And we would go down there, we watch them. It was super awesome. And then when the next 3 came out, which would have been like when I was younger, like I didn't see them when they first came out, obviously, because I was super young. But like when I did get a chance to watch them, I remember like I couldn't stand them. Like honestly, they were bad.
Now hold up. Revenge of the Sith is not a bad movie.
See, well, okay, you're right. Avenge of the Sith
1 and 2 are complete trash.
Okay, well, I was gonna get here, but since you've already jumped the ship,
3
since you've already jumped the ship, Jared, I'm gonna get there. Okay,
I will say it's the most violent.
Listen, I was gonna get there. I was gonna rank my movies, but since you jumped already there, I'm going to do it now. So my movie ranked, if you're counting all 3 of the new ones that just came out in the last few years,
well, you have to.
Mine definitely goes 9. Which is the Rise of Skywalker, obviously.
Like as number 1?
As like, yeah, from 1 to 9 ranking is 9's number 1 for me. Definitely 6 is next. I actually just went over this with my really good friend Jordan, who, if you heard in the last episode, brought up a great point about something. Check out that last episode, by the way. Anyways, so I'd say 9 is number 1. I say 6 is number 2. 3, number 3 for me would be
3.
What? Nope, not 3. It would be 5. So I believe that one's. I've always said that 9, 6, and 5 are all very close for me. Then after 5, there is a tie for me between Force Awakens, which is 7, and Revenge of the Sith was 3. And then which would that be? That'd be 4. So then 5th would be, or 6th, I guess technically. 6th would be 2. And then 7 would be something like that. I'm lost anyways. Then after that would be 1, and then the last ranked is definitely Last Jedi, because I hated Last Jedi. I'm sorry, but I'm glad J.J. Abrams came back. But Jared, go ahead, and because I know he's very much on the newer saga things, and he likes the old ones. I'm pretty sure he likes the old ones better.
I like the old ones.
Go ahead and share your spiel.
Yeah. So number 1 for me is Revenge of the Sith. I love that movie. Unlimited power. That's like one of my favorite lines of all time.
What was that?
That's one of my favorite lines of all time.
That's not even his voice.
Yeah, well, nobody can do his voice. It's insane.
Whatever.
Anyways, that's one of my favorite lines.
Whatever.
So one is, number 1 is Revenge of the Sith. Number 2 is Rise of Skywalker. I loved it. I don't know why some people say it was trash. You're wrong. Number 3 is Episode 6. It's also
a classic.
Great movie.
It's a classic.
Number 4 is probably Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back.
Episode 5 was like, for insight, like Jared and I think our first one we really watched was Episode 5. I don't think we watched 4 first.
I don't remember.
We watched 5. That's the one I forgot. I forgot 4. 4 is like right after. For me, 4 is right after the tie between Revenge of the Sith and Force Awakens. 4 is right there. So 4 is right up there.
Number 5 for me is Force Awakens. I loved Force Awakens.
Force Awakens was great because, wait, what was it, like 10 years since the last one came out?
And
so like that was huge
so
for us. Yeah.
And then number 6 is Episode 4, obviously. 7 is probably Phantom Menace. Just because Qui-Gon Jinn is a boss. Even though he dies, he's still a boss.
Qui-Gon Jinn legit was a very underrated Jedi.
Which I watched something, and it actually said that Palpatine was scared of Qui-Gon Jinn. So
yes,
you should watch that on YouTube. Just look it up.
Yes, there are so many great videos.
And
about that.
Number 7 is Episode 2. Battle of Geonosis is like the only good thing in that movie. And then obviously last is Last of Jedi. But if you throw in Rogue One and Han Solo,
okay, but you
movie,
can't. Like I can argue about this.
I know, but you can't. You should throw in Rogue One because it's like
no, I get they're a part of it, and it's
like a main thing.
Like I get both of them are part of it, but personally, I'm just like, eh. You know, why
I
add
liked
them?
Rogue One. Solo was kind of
Did you say Solo is kind of eh?
Yeah. I like Rogue One though. Spoiler: everybody dies, which is kind of cool. Not like that they die, but like how they died. It was pretty cool.
But anyways, we, as you can tell, we love Star Wars. I mean, we always have. I know personally for me, I've always loved Star Wars. I'm actually, and Jared and I both, as we're recording this, we're both into the series too. If you ever check out the Clone Wars
best
Rebels
cartoon ever is Clone Wars, Star Wars Clone Wars.
Like, there's a lot of times when I'm like, oh, these aren't that bad, because a lot of times when you think of a cartoon, you're like, this is not good.
Although if you're under the age of 10 and you're listening to our podcast, it is PG, so we do advise parent guidance for Star Wars Clone Wars.
I love how we're thinking we're going to have kids under 10 listen to our podcast, but you never
maybe
know.
they'll look at it and be like, oh, that sounds kind of funny.
Then again, all kids do have cell phones nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is
That's
crazy.
why I say if you're under the age of 10. So honestly, if you're under the age of 15, you
I
should
have
probably
something to
have
ask you,
parent guidance
Jared. Something popped up the other day. If for those you don't know, I graduated with a teaching. I majored in early childhood education. I'm going to be a teacher, which is a great profession. But something interesting came up, and it was like my last couple of days of student teaching, and it was kind of interesting to me because I guess I don't know. It was funny because I saw that there was I taught first grade. And there's a first grader that literally was getting on the bus, and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Bowden, I forgot my cell phone." Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I get that there's certain circumstances that, you know, the student needs to have a phone. Like, it's just that's part of it. I get it, but I'm thinking first grade. That's like 6 years old. In some cases 7. I don't know, Jared. I want your opinion on that, because I was frustrated as a teacher, but then I had to really sit back and think about. I'll share my opinion, but I want to hear your opinion.
When I was in first grade, McDonald's used to sell those little like flip up toys that had like a little soccer game in them. I remember because every time I got a kid's Happy Meal, it came with it, and it was really cool. And I actually pretended like it was my cell phone, but it was actually like a soccer type game.
Oh, I get that. I get that, the pretend thing, but it's the
and they also have pretend.
But what's your idea though? Like, I get the pretend. Like, what is your idea though on kids at the age of 7, 8 having cell phones? Like, I just want I get every kid jokes about it. Every kid, you know what I'm saying?
They're too young, but that's the way the world's going. Is everybody has technology from the age of like 3 on. They have technology, and I would not give my kid a phone until they're like in 8th grade or something like that.
Oh yeah, I totally get it. It's kind of one of those things too.
It's very time consuming.
Yeah, like I said, I have my opinion on this. Coming from a teaching point of view, a teacher's point of view, I get there's certain circumstances, if I can say the words, certain circumstances where those things are important. And those things need to happen. Like, you need to have your kid, it needs to have a way to reach you or whatever. But I just feel like, I guess for young kids, I think it's just that danger. I mean, there's so many things now in the news with just different things where kids are getting abused or things like that. And I know for Jared and I, that's something at our university, they talk about all the time. Like, especially when you're working with children, that is a big thing that comes up. And I think for anyone of that age to have a phone, there's just that risk. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think there's always purposes for it, and there's always areas of need, but I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. I get it, but yeah. So that, I know that's a weird. We don't really have a segue out of that, but that just popped up in my head, and I don't know why I wanted to talk about it, but I did. But going back to some things, Jared, we on the last episode debated about Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
And if you didn't check out that, I guess part of the episode, go check it out. It's kind of funny because my brother here,
Rice Krispies are a dessert and a snack.
It's not. Okay, I will say this. So at church, one of our buddies, he decided. I asked him this question. I said, my brother claims that Rice Krispie is a dessert. And he's like, well, Rice Krispie is a treat. A treat is like a snack. A treat is not like, I get it. You can have a treat as a dessert, but no one's goes like, hey, I'm going to go have a treat. And that's not your dessert.
But you're treating yourself to that treat.
But that doesn't mean anything. Anyway, I brought this up because I saw something on Google, and it was the idea of interesting desserts. If I can find it here, interesting desserts that I thought was kind of interesting.
If it's from Wikipedia, it's a lie.
And I also spelled desserts wrong. I spelled deserts. And I thought it was interesting because they're actually the best desserts of all time, but I think they're also interesting. Like this one, it's called a mini Oreo cake.
No. Mint Oreo cake.
Oh, it's mint. Sorry, I read it wrong. But but they are mini Oreos.
He doesn't English very well.
Yeah, I don't English very well. But mint Oreo cake, and then, but see, like that's different than a Rice Krispie because mint Oreo cake is like, it's an actual dessert. And if
Oreos are a dessert.
Yeah, I get that. Or like the ultimate gooey brownies.
Now that sounds fantastic.
That doesn't look good, but it sounds good. But it looks that looks gross. But like what I'm trying to say is, Jared, if you look at all these, it's got the word cake in it, or it has like their actual like.
Now hold on, go back up. There's something here that says Meyer lemon bars. That doesn't sound like no dessert to me.
Neither does a Rice Krispie.
So then Rice Krispie is a dessert because lemon bars is a dessert, then Rice Krispie is a dessert.
Anyways, all I'm trying to say is that I'm going to stand firm that Rice Krispie is not a treat. I mean, is not a dessert and is a treat. So I would love for anybody out there that can help me prove my point to please help me prove my point that Rice Krispie is definitely a treat, not a dessert. Anyways, with that, I would love to talk about. Speaking of food, I think it's interesting. Both Jared and I went to, I went to Cedarville. He still goes to Cedarville. He's not graduated yet. And at Cedarville, we call our cafeteria Chuck's. It's a long story, but my question for you, Jared, is what is your opinion on like, I guess cafeteria food, maybe not even just college, but like when growing up and stuff, because I thought it was interesting. I saw someone talk about like their favorite go-to cafeteria meals. And to be honest, there are some amazing go-to cafeteria meals. And I just want to get your opinion on cafeteria meals before we jump into that topic.
In high school, it was At college, it is still and I wish I could pack a lunch.
I mean, you could. You could just not eat at Chuck's.
That's a lot of money.
That's true. It is a lot of money. But I will say this. I think my favorite, I like my go-to, first off, like I get it. It's cafeteria food. And you're probably like, Ben, Jared, why are you talking about cafeteria food? Because we can. No, I mean, because it's just an interesting thing because I'm pretty sure every meal we talk about, like at least every couple meals a week, like if we're here at home with our parents, we talk about Chuck's because our dad
loves Chuck's.
He loves Chuck's. Like he loves cafeteria. And I think it's because he only eats there like twice a year. Like, honestly, I think that's
more
what
like
it is.
Once every 2 years.
But I will say this. I like personally, I don't really enjoy Chuck's or the cafeteria food
I only eat there
at Cedarville. And I didn't really like it in high school at all. I could not stand cafeteria food. But I will say that at Cedarville, we are definitely blessed with a very wide range of food that you can eat from. Mm-hmm. But my go-to cafeteria food, by far my go-to cafeteria food is, especially at Chuck's, is any pizza. Like I can eat the pizza in cafeteria because at least that's the one thing I can trust is at least semi-cooked right. I don't know about you. I mean, you have to have a go-to. Like, you can't just, like, go to Chuck's and be like, let's see what I want today. I don't really know.
Well, I do check home cooking first, but it's like, always bad, so I usually never get it. My go-to is probably either a habanero, if the line's not long, is habanero.
Habanero is basically like a poor man's Chipotle.
But I only get that about once every 2 weeks. And then, but my other go-to is the burgers. And the burgers this year are actually really good. Not going to lie, the burgers are good.
Yeah, I will say,
it actually tastes like it's off the grill.
Burgers can vary many different ways. Like sometimes I feel like cafeteria burgers are like the worst because they, like when they put it in that like that liquid and like they like basically just boil them. Those are terrible. Those are absolutely awful. But I will agree that Cedarville does a great job of like actually cooking them. At least that's what I think.
And actually, I also get a bowl of cereal every meal most of the time. And guess what? My bowl of cereal is Rice Krispie.
I will say, speaking of Cedarville and speaking of Chuck's, one of my favorite things to do when I was there was to seriously get a cup, like a glass, like you're going to eat in, a glass full of cereal. Like legit was like one of my favorite things to do on Saturday mornings, because as much as you might think I'm an extrovert, which I am, there's like maybe not even 2%, maybe 1% of me that's introverted. And like on Saturday mornings, I just needed to like sit alone, and that, yeah. And Chuck's is also weird to sit alone in though.
Yeah.
Chuck's is super awkward to sit alone in, because like when you sit there alone, it's just like you get the weird looks. Like,
and you have that random person that's like, "Hey, can I sit?" And you're like,
and it's so awkward,
sure,
especially if you don't know them,
buddy.
And another thing that is kind of crazy too is like the dating culture at Cedarville, especially at Chuck's. It's just weird. Like people go on their first dates at the cafeteria. I'm sorry. Like
if you go on a first date at Cedarville, go to Renova.
Or just go somewhere else. Like I'm not, as you can, I mean, I'm not really successful at dating, but what I'm saying is like Jared could probably attest to this too. Like it's just awkward. Like you like already at Cedarville, and if you go to Cedarville or you know about Cedarville, it's a very small community, so everyone knows everything that's going on. So if you go on a date with a girl, like everyone knows about it. So
and you better hope not one of your bros sees it, because then they'll be all over.
Why not just try to make it, at least keep it like not a secret, but like keep it quiet as long as you can, so you can figure out what's going on with you and the girl, instead of going to Chuck's and like, hey, let's have a date at Chuck's. I'm sorry.
Let's go to Renova.
I get it that we're poor college students, right? We're poor college students, but
Renova.
Okay, they get that. What I'm saying is they're poor. You know, we're poor. We get it, but you know, maybe go get like go down the Stingers now.
It's not the Hive,
but it was the Hive when I was there.
Stingers.
But going down and getting that food, and then going out and do something. I'm sorry, I don't know why I went on kind of a rabbit trail there, but I just always thought it was funny when I would see like my friends or someone I knew on a date at Cedarville. It was always super interesting for me. But Jared, what is something I guess at Cedarville, since we're on the Cedarville topic, what is one thing that like you've learned in college that you didn't know about yourself, or that like is just something super interesting that has kind of helped you, I guess, kind of change? Since we're on that topic of college life.
I make friends really easily.
Is that just because it's Cedarville, or is that because
I don't think it's because it's Cedarville, because I realized even in high school I made friends like really easily.
Actually opened up.
It's probably because I opened up, because I didn't have you or Dad talking over me all the time.
Oh,
and I can actually talk.
That hurts. That hurts a little bit.
Tis my communication major.
But he's not wrong.
I'm very extroverted.
He's not wrong. Like
I love hanging out with friends. And making friends is the best thing ever.
All seriousness though, like Cedarville is a little easier to make friends. Like, and that's not like a rip on Cedarville at all. Like, don't get me wrong, we both love Cedarville. But it's just easier, I think, because we all have that same mindset, or the most of us, the same mindset of community. And going back to what Jared said, I made a lot of friends in high school. Going back to what you said though about growing up, it's so true. Like if we had the chance to have my dad on here sometime, our dad, we're both very similar, myself and my dad, and so we didn't really let Jared talk, as much as Dad will never admit that, or I will really. No, it's fun. I mean, it's fun to be able to talk, but then when you realize you kind of scarred your brother's childhood, probably. But yeah, so what else did you learn? I mean, you said growing, you said maturing. I mean, you've told me those things before, but I guess like was it easier to kind of adapt to college life?
Yeah.
When you're away from home?
Yeah.
But how so?
I don't know. It's just easy.
Jared's not very good at explaining things at all, as you can tell. He's still getting used to this whole idea of talking to people. No,
probably.
Yeah, but no, I would agree with Jared. I think when you grow and you learn about yourself a lot at Cedarville, it kind of helps, and just college in general. And I'm not here to say that other colleges you don't learn, but I think just Cedarville for us was just a lot easier to talk about.
It's easier to get closer with people.
Yeah, it's easier to get closer with people. But yeah, we love Cedarville, and you'll probably hear us talk a lot about Cedarville just because.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he's doing. He's getting ready to head back. Actually, as we're filming this and recording this, you head back tomorrow, even though it'll be like a week and a half after when you hear this, he'll already be back. But that's one of my favorite things. But another topic that I wanted to talk about, and well, one thing is Jared has done a great job of he's going like, as you're probably listening to this, because we record these a couple weeks in advance, Instagram page will be out, and everything that's on there is his doing. So shout out to Jared for doing that. It's kind of weird to talk about something when you haven't really done it, but it's all gonna be Jared. So
Gotta
it's
wait till
super
the first
exciting.
episode comes out.
Yeah, that's true. So, but which was past episode, you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jared, do you have kind of I know we've talked about this, off the air. We kind of talked about how you want to do a nice question to spur some talking. So what is your question? We used to do this at Resound Radio when we worked there on Full Court Press was our show. It was a sports show. And we used to always ask our guests kind of crazy questions, but we don't have a guest, so we're just going to debate it ourselves. So, Jared, why don't you go ahead?
All right. Just because this is like the easiest question that I can post on our Instagram, which, by the way, these questions will be on our Instagram story, so you can answer them on our
But
Instagram
obviously,
page.
it's going to be after the first two episodes.
Yes. So, here's the question.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, stop this. I hate when people ask me this.
Is it a sandwich? Or is it a sub?
A hot dog is
Is it a sandwich? Or is it just nothing?
You just asked if it was a sandwich or what?
Is it a sandwich?
Is it just a sandwich?
Is it a sandwich? Yes or no?
Yes, because
both.
it's between buns.
Yeah, but
What about you? I mean, is it not?
But
Is that not a sandwich? Like,
do we
if it's
call-
between bread, it's a sandwich.
do we call a sub a sandwich?
Yeah, you could
We
call,
call it a sub.
You can call it a sandwich, though. I want to get a sandwich
could.
at Subway.
Okay.
So what's your opinion on it?
I mean,
you
I
can't
think
just you can't just ask a question and not have an opinion on
I
it.
think it's a sandwich. I just want to see what you're saying.
But that's all you got? Like, the only reason?
Yeah.
What is your reasoning behind it?
It's a sandwich. You eat it between bread.
Exactly what I said. And yet the guy asked the question.
Yeah. Well, I never said it wasn't a
So
sandwich.
then my question is for you then is, but do you think it makes a difference that it's not too low, like two pieces of bread? Because technically it's just a cut piece of bread.
But you could make it two pieces of bread.
I know that. But what I'm asking is, does that make a difference? Like, is that what determines a sandwich? Is
No.
it have to be two pieces, do you think?
No. A sub isn't two
Okay.
pieces of bread.
Okay. I got you.
We don't call a sub something
So
other than a
speaking
sandwich.
of sandwiches and food, so we recently just got a Chipotle in our town, which was literally a gift from God himself. I'm
well, the
pretty sure.
town next to us.
The town next to us. Anyways, same thing.
Not really.
I grew up absolutely not liking Chipotle. I love Taco Bell. I still love
Chipotle.
Taco Bell. Don't get me wrong. I still love Taco Bell. But speaking on like the sandwich topic and stuff, would you rather, like, are you more of like, I'd rather get a sandwich, or would you rather have like that Hispanic Mexican type food where you just go? Because that is a question that I've gotten on multiple occasions. People are like, well, should we go to get sandwiches or go get like Mexican? It's like, well, first off, it's not actually right, because Mexican food is not just, it's not just what you see. Like, it's Hispanic. But anyways, that's besides the point. I can go off on that.
But Hispanics are.
Yes, I get it. Go off of that. But anyways, would you rather have sandwiches or like that Mexican Hispanic type food?
Where am I getting the sandwiches from? It all depends on that.
Just you choose a place and just discuss it.
Well, then I'd rather get Mexican.
Explain why.
Oh, why would I rather get Mexican? I don't know. Their style is like so yummy and tasty. It like Chipotle, you can get put all different, but that's just Subway. You can't get like at a different sub place or a different sandwich place. They only have like certain sandwiches you can get. Subway's the only place where you can really get anything you want on a sub.
Oh, Jimmy John's.
I've heard that's disgusting.
Well, that's your opinion. I love Jimmy John's.
That's sarcastic.
But I would say this. I love any Hispanic food because I've had it different ways. So I've had like a food truck type type Hispanic food, and then I've had like Chipotle. And like I said, for a long time, I couldn't stand Chipotle. I just didn't like the amount of food, I guess. Like the amount of food just drove me nuts. I could not stand it.
I like it.
But now I really enjoy it because I can, like, I feel like I get more and I can save it. But I agree. Like, it depends where you go. Like you said, like if I'm going somewhere really quick, obviously Chipotle is not the place you go really quick. Like I would be more of like, I could still eat some Taco Bell. I could still eat, Wendy's and stuff like that. Like I love myself some Wendy's, but it depends where you're at. I get that. I totally do.
I'd still have Hispanic food.
Oh, absolutely. But my other question, well, I guess going off restaurant, I don't know why we're on this restaurant bench. It's because it's our show and we can talk about what we want. We know, bros know. That's why we call it.
We do what we want.
But he means that in jokingly. He's really not trying to be mean.
I'm actually being dead serious.
Yes, he's being dead serious. But anyways, but I wanted to talk about, since we're talking about restaurants. Okay, have you had Popeyes chicken sandwich?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Shout out actually to
why am I bringing this up? Because I know this is going to be a huge debate, and we're probably going to talk about this for a solid 10 minutes. And you've obviously had Chick-Fil-A. Obviously, everyone has.
Duh.
If you're a Christian, you've had Chick-Fil-A, or if you're not a Christian, but it's just kind of the thing that you do. But my question is, Jared, what is the better sandwich?
Okay, Chick-fil-A, but I'm not hating on the Popeyes chicken sandwich, okay? It is actually...
There's no hate in this. You're just talking. There's no hate.
It is actually really good, Popeyes chicken sandwich, but Chick-fil-A is still the better chicken sandwich.
No. So you're saying Chick-fil-A sandwich is better?
Yes, but Popeyes is still good, like the sandwich.
But like, are you... So let's break it down here. So you're pro Popeyes chicken sandwich. Like you would get it.
I'd get it again.
I would not get it. You know why?
Oh, it's so good.
Terrible customer service.
I'm actually
absolutely awful customer service. Every one I've been to, I've been to 3 different ones, and they've all been terrible.
Shout out to my RA Zach Griffiths for taking us there during college football.
Zach,
Saturday.
I don't care. Okay, Zach,
and,
I don't care.
Also, shout out
used to be my RA, but I don't care.
Shout out to his podcast, Corner 3 Podcast. You should check it out sometime if you like college football.
This.
Anyways, I had to give him a shout out. So, anyways, so shout out to him for taking us there. Having the idea to go there. And listen, when we went there, it might not have been like a real dinner time, but hey, we got our chicken sandwich in a matter of minutes.
Okay, I get that, but like
2 minutes
I've been there,
max.
like I've been there during a really busy time, and it was like they were scrambling, like they didn't have them ready. But like every time you go to Chick-fil-A, there's not been a time where I've gone to any Chick-fil-A, and like it's ready. Like you go sit down. Like I've been multiple times when Chick-fil-A, and I've sat down, and like my food has beat me there, or like as I'm sitting down, I'm like, oh, thank you, Barbara. Why did I just use
pleasure.
Barbara? Yeah. Stop it. But I will say this. The reason also why I would go to Chick-fil-A is where there is no restaurant that like you can have a great chicken sandwich, some great fries, and a great milkshake all at the same time. Sitting down, having that, and the consistency of the milkshakes is what makes it. Like I can go to Chick-fil-A. This is almost like a sin for me saying this, but go to Chick-fil-A just for the milkshake. But I don't, because I believe that the chicken sandwich is the best in the world. So would you say that, like, what is your, like, if you had the choice now, would you go get a Popeyes chicken sandwich or a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich? Like, if you had the choice.
Chick-fil-A.
So you are pro Chick-fil-A, though?
Yeah, pro both.
You can't be pro both. Stop it.
I'm pro both.
This is why we have our own opinions, people, and this is why you respect people's opinions, even if they're wrong.
I'm right. I'm always right.
Anyways, would you say, now I know this is another topic on the Chick-fil-A topic. You love steak and shakes, right? You love
those are muy bueno.
But my dad and my brother think I'm crazy when I say this, but I honestly believe Chick-fil-A shakes are better than steak and shake. Just hands down.
It's close, but steak and shake is just.
So why do you think steak and shakes are better? I can't even say that fast.
They're pretty close in like the thickness of the shake, but I think steak and shake's a little thicker than.
But isn't Chick-fil-A. Like thickness is like almost like a malt?
No. That's
you're drinking like a malt.
But that's when it's good.
Isn't it like just a milk malt?
No. It's a milkshake. It's.
So then my question is a milkshake better with whipped cream and cherries on it? because
No.
that's disgusting. That's absolutely.
also-
if you like whipped cream and cherries on your milkshake, that's gross.
Steak and Shake also has more milkshake options.
Oh, I get
So you can
that.
get
I'm not.
so many
I'm not
different
disagreeing
flavors.
that they have more options. I think though quality over quantity is better. And I personally think Chick-fil-A's quality of milkshake, it's never like, I've been to Steak and Shake and a couple different times, like it's been a different, like it hasn't been as good each time. Like, but every time I go to Chick-fil-A, and I get it pretty much every time I go, it's always been consistent.
Every
Like,
time
always.
I get a milkshake anywhere, it's good.
I mean, I get it. I
Also,
get it.
United Dairy Farmers they have
That is
really
an
good
underrated
milkshakes.
place, by the way.
They have really good milkshakes.
That is a very underrated, mainly because it's like at a gas station. It's really awkward. I don't like getting stuff at gas stations, but when I went
I like
there,
getting their milkshakes.
well, that's true. I love how we're talking about a lot of food on this episode. It's like a food episode.
And we ate lunch like 2 hours
Yeah,
ago.
we did. So we're kind of like on that food binge. But I will say this, Jared. What is your go-to? Though I guess since I'm terrible at segueing on this show, but you know, talking about gas station food, go-to gas station food, go.
The United Dairy Farmers milkshakes count?
No, I just meant like, and not food, like not a drink or anything like that, but like
No,
a food. Like if you're like on a road trip,
Like a
you're
snack?
you're
pretty
traveling with your bros, and you're like, "What's up, Jimmy?"
Probably.
I don't know why I called him Jimmy. I don't have a friend Jimmy. I'm sorry to all Jimmys out there.
Probably. Probably. You know those mini Pringle cans. I love those.
You know, I used
Like
to
pizza
love Pringles
Pringles.
until they started giving me headaches.
No, pizza Pringles.
And they've also done like studies that have shown that like Pringles cause like heart problems. But I feel like that's anything with sodium. So I feel like that's just a terrible study. And no offense to anybody that did that study. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying.
Well, if anybody who did that study is listening to us, they should donate.
Donate some money.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
Because they're probably rich.
No, but the idea of like my favorite go-to snack from a gas station. Actually, there's two for me. One would be, we'll get to the drinks next, but one for me would be, Sour Patch Kids, like the
Those are
little in the bag. Like those to me are just amazing. Like they're absolutely amazing. I love them.
They hurt my tongue though.
Well, it's because they're sour.
Yeah, they hurt my tongue.
What? How is that even? They hurt my tongue.
Yeah.
They hurt my tongue. No, it hurts your, like, it doesn't hurt your tongue. It's just the reaction. It doesn't hurt
This
it.
is also really random, but every time I drink hot chocolate, the first drink always burns my taste buds off.
Where are we getting it? Oh my.
Off my tongue, you know. It hurts.
Oh my word. Anyways, back on topic about what I was talking about. The little bags are great because you can get like a bigger bag for a little bit more money and you can share
That's
it with
what I
people.
used to get.
Because I like shareable things.
No, I get the big bag just for myself.
But my second favorite one, and I don't know if you remember this when you were a kid, and like when you would pack your lunch or you would go to a snack shop,
I know
they'd
what
have
you're
those
saying.
little sticks with cheese.
Oh, never mind.
Those are so good.
I thought you
still
were
could
going to
eat
say
those.
Lunchables.
Ew, Lunchables are gross.
Those are
Half the
great.
students I teach have Lunchables, and I'm like, why
Those are
are you
amazing.
eating that? Anyways, so those are my two go-to for snack. But if I would have to get a drink with that, and Jared can almost guess what I'm about to say here, is a Kickstart,
Yep.
an orange Kickstart to be Pacific.
Actually, purple
Pacific?
is really good.
It's specific. There we go. I can't
can't
really say
English.
it. I can't English. But the orange one specifically is the best. That's what I would have. What would be your go-to drink? I mean, you've already said Pringles, so I think I have an idea what yours is, but I don't know.
Since United Dairy Farmers aren't as popular around
Really, anywhere.
anywhere, yeah.
Like honestly, anywhere. You have to like
but
find
I would
one.
get a milkshake. But if it's not a milkshake, probably either. I always used to get Gatorade. That was like the not just like a small Gatorade, but the big bottles that have like the twist cap and you like squeeze in your mouth.
Oh yeah, the ones that you used
you can
to
like suck on them and squeeze in your mouth.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah. I used to get them for
really
baseball
good.
games all the time.
Yeah, either
'Cause those are
that.
good.
It's either that or I don't get it anymore. But when I was little, I got the bug juice.
Oh,
That'd
be good.
Was really good. But I'm
bug
not
juice
kidding
used
anymore.
to
So I
be
don't get bug
the
juice.
jam when we were kids. Like, there's so many things that I was thinking about this the other day. There's so many things that we like had when we were kids that like just don't exist anymore. Like, I don't know about you, but like what were some of the things you thought of? Like, what are some of the things that we did like we had when we were kids, but like they're really just not. Oh, I know. Like one is specifically like at Taco Bell. They had the Choco Taco. Remember like the chocolate covered like dessert taco? That's not there anymore. But like there's like other toys and stuff that like I can't think of any off the top of my head. But there's a lot of things that like we would watch like as kids, especially like TV shows that were like roly poly oly. Like by far one of my favorite shows. Caillou. There's so many good shows.
Arthur.
I mean, you still see reruns, but like that are consistently good. Cyber Chase, absolutely one of my favorite shows of all time. But yeah, like there's like, what are some of those things that you can think of that are not like that aren't popular anymore, or like definitely just kind of faded away as we've gotten older?
Just anything.
I think like even like some of the gaming stuff, like we grew up on, like you would play computer games, and then you would play like we were still young when like the Xbox, original Xbox, and like that kind of stuff. We had the original Wii, like that was fun.
Yeah, Wii's not even.
Yeah, like Wii. Anymore. I mean, they have the Switch, but you know it's not the same.
That's not a Wii. It's a
That's
Switch.
Nintendo though. Nintendo,
yeah, but it's not a Wii.
Is it the Nintendo Wii Switch or is it Nintendo Wii?
It's just Nintendo Switch.
Oh, I'm clueless when it comes to that stuff. So, anyways, but yeah, there's like a lot of this thing, and like, what do you think about that? Like, do you wish there was things that like when we were younger that would still be here? Like, do you wish there was? Those
not
things?
really, because it's meaningful to us because it was our childhood. Like if other kids had that stuff, it wouldn't be as meaningful. But like,
yeah, there's some
like
stuff that
during our childhood, we had Cyber Chase.
Yeah, there's some stuff that
but
could
no
still hold up.
Kids can say
Oh,
that.
yeah, but the thing is, like, Cyber Chase could still hold up today. Like, there's a lot of things that could still hold up and be really good. Like,
yeah,
and honestly, be something that I would be like, I can watch that.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I guess that's just me, but I like history. I like relics. So anything that's from our childhood, I love.
One thing that I think we talked about it earlier today before we recorded this, but Odyssey was.
Oh yeah.
Now listen, if you ever, it's more of like a church kid thing. But if you didn't go to church and you saw it, let me tell you, that is a childhood.
It's like legit. Like, okay,
I'm mad that's not still around.
Well, you can hear. Okay, I will tell you. You can't hear it on the radio. But you can't get like I don't know, maybe you can, and that's something that like let us know please if you can, because I legit actually might want to watch it.
Yeah, but if you have a video, mail it to us.
That just reminds me.
Yeah, like the movie.
That reminds me though, like Taylor Ransom on the Frick Frack podcast. Check that podcast out. Taylor Ransom, great comedian, great guy, and he talked about with his buddy on there. He talked about which was the better show, 3-2-1 Penguins.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Or
I like that.
I forget the other one he talked about. It was 3-2-1 Penguins or
VeggieTales.
Yeah,
VeggieTales.
And I won't be honest with you, like
VeggieTales.
This is what I'm gonna say. Like the thing is, VeggieTales was good, right?
So good.
But like for you, because since Jared's 3 years younger than me, he grew up a lot on he when I was 11, 12, he was still watching VeggieTales. But for me, I was able to, because I was a little older, I got to watch 3-2-1 Penguins, and I have to agree with Taylor Ransom. Like 3-2-1 Penguins was a very underrated show. Like it might not be better than VeggieTales, but like he thinks it's better, but like it's very underrated. Like the story was good, the characters were good. Like I don't know, and this is just me being because us Christian kids, like you didn't really watch anything else, but like like it couldn't be a bad show. Like your parents aren't gonna let you watch that, so it was always like it was always just like Odyssey. 3-2-1 Penguins, Storytellers. You remember that? Yep. The Storytellers. So like for us, like, you're probably sitting there going like, wow, they didn't really have a childhood. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did. Because I'm telling you, VeggieTales to this day is still very entertaining. Go online and you can watch.
My favorite part of 3-2-1 Penguins. What was the dude who always stuck his head in the vacuum? Was Kevin? That was my favorite part.
Oh, Kevin by far is the best character in that whole series.
Also, speaking of Penguins, most underrated movie/TV show character.
Where are we going?
Madagascar of Penguins.
Okay, I get that.
Most underrated because they're
3-2-1 Penguins, which is the best penguins of all time.
But Madagascar Penguins, they're great.
But the best part about 3-2-1 Penguins was when Kevin gets sucked as a vacuum. You remember that?
Yeah,
and his little beak sticking out.
That's what I was talking about.
He's like, Kevin. I loved it. I don't know. That's just me. Jared and I will still say Kevin. Like anytime we hear someone's name's Kevin, I'm sorry for anybody that we know that's name's Kevin.
If you say
your name's Kevin, we're gonna think of that.
If you meet me and you say I'm Kevin, I'll be like
Kevin.
And they'll be like, yeah, I'm Jared, but Kevin.
No, but we really enjoy that's what I'm saying though. Like there's so much from our childhood that like we still enjoy. And like I'm sure it's gonna be that way with every generation. Like, I'm sure that's the way with Dad and with many other people. Is like there's just things like that you enjoy, you love because it's just cool. Like it's fun, it's cool, and it's not. It never gets tiring. Like there's some stuff that I watch and like but like that stuff that sticks with me, and I think it's just every generation. But Yeah, and so I think, childhood. It was a great time, and I know I would love to hear your guys' opinions. Just shoot us a text, shoot us an email, whatever on our social media. Let us know what you think about your childhood stuff. And also please let us know some topics you want us to talk about.
Yeah, I was gonna say any topics you want us to talk about, or have any questions fun questions you want us to talk about. Just DM that in the Instagram page.
Yeah, absolutely. And
if you know us and you have our number, or have us on other social medias, just text us that or whatever.
Yeah, and it's gonna be fun. I'm loving this. It's just fun. Because we do this a lot. Obviously not recording it, but this is literally we have conversations like this, and it's just we have no idea why we're talking about it. And there will be an episode where we get our father on here because he's just too funny not to leave on here.
Yeah,
off here. He's great. He's hilarious.
He might appear in multiple episodes.
Yeah, we don't know. We're still figuring that out. But as we wrap up today's episode, again, thanks so much. So just a reminder for everyone that go ahead and, every Monday, the goal is every Monday about 8 a.m. Eastern time, we'll be...
Hopefully every Monday.
We'll release a new podcast.
Hopefully every Monday.
And then also...
Lord willing.
Just so you know, like Jared said, he's maintaining the social media Instagram account. On there, you'll also see some snippets of what we recorded, some video snippets, and you'll be able to hear a little bit about what's going to be on the episode. But obviously, you're going to have to listen to the whole episode to understand what's going on. You can go ahead and follow myself on Instagram at BigBen_6, and also on my Facebook, Benjamin Bowden. And then also, if you want to head over, I'll be posting some of this stuff on my YouTube channel, which is the Bowden Experience. So that's really good. And where can they find you, Jared?
At speedrocket_21.
Yep. And then also our Instagram account, which
it'll just be at the Bros Knows.
Yeah, at the Bros Knows. Hopefully,
if not, we'll let you know.
That.
We'll let you know.
You'll probably obviously, if you're listening to this, it's already up, so you understand what it is. But yeah, with that, and then also if you would like, you can go over and also listen to my personal podcast, which is Real Talk with Ben, or at least that's the name for now. We'll see what happens. But Real Talk with Ben, where I will be talking about different things that I've learned, what God's taught me, what I've learned, things like that. Also interviewing different people. You might see Jared on there being interviewed about his life story. We're really just learning about people, and so that's what my podcast over there is about. So again, we thank you so much for listening. I'm Ben.
I'm Jared.
And this is the Bros Knows. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Ka-chow.